For almost $230, I'm expecting a lot, almost a perfect boot, and they're just not it for me. I will be reviewing the On Cloudrock waterproof hiking boots. What really stood out to me about these shoes is that they're actually made by a running shoe and apparel company. It's a Swiss company, but a couple years ago, they came out with this type of hybrid. It's between a hiking boot and a running shoe. So that's what really kind of stood out to me. I wanted something that was lightweight, that was comfortable, and that wasn't too bulky. I've been using them pretty heavily for the past maybe 8 to 10 months. One thing that I really like about the boots is how lightweight they are. Each boot weighs just under 16 ounces. One of the best features of the boot is that they truly are waterproof. I was pretty skeptical at first because they're made out of this very lightweight kind of sneaker material. So I really didn't think that they would be as waterproof as they are. I've kind of splashed through the puddles. I've walked through streams. It's rained on me while I'm wearing them, and my feet have stayed really dry. I'm not too sure which coating the company uses to make the boots waterproof. I did notice that they're a little bit on the warm side, which made me think maybe they were Gore-Tex, but I didn't see anything about Gore-Tex on the website. I think the warmest hike that I've taken them on, it was maybe like the mid 80s up in Yosemite, and my feet were pretty warm. Even with my lightest pair of wool blend socks, I could tell that it was kind of warm. It was bearable, but that's just something that I didn't like so much about the boot. Now, in terms for the cold weather, I haven't worn them while being out hiking in the snow. I've encountered patches of snow while on hikes. They don't have the best traction on snow. The outer sole is made with the Mission Grip rubber, which makes these have pretty good traction. I've worn them where it's really sandy, where there's some loose gravel, where it's kind of wet. I've only slipped in them one time, and it was because I was hiking after the rain and there was a lot of loose gravel. But other than that, I feel pretty secure as I'm going kind of up and down the hills. Another unique feature that these boots have is a 360-degree mud guard. I really like these because, again, it keeps some of that moisture, right, the mud, the dirt out from getting into your boot. I especially found this helpful because I am pretty clumsy when I'm hiking. I don't always watch where I'm stepping. I have quite a bit of scuffs, and it's really saved my toes. It's not super hard, but it does offer a nice protection. I really like this feature. On is really known for two distinct features on their running shoes and also the hiking boot. So the Cloudrock, right? That's these little pods that you see here. On makes the claim that it offers the most cushion. I personally would partially agree. For the most part, the shoes are pretty comfortable. I get a lot of shock absorption, especially as I'm going down. I did notice that after hiking maybe about 10 miles, the heels of my feet did start to feel pretty tired, like pretty fatigued. I would say for day hikes, these are perfect. If you're doing maybe more than 10 miles or if you're backpacking, they might not be the most comfortable. At least they weren't for me. Now, another distinct feature to On is the speed board that they have. The function of this board is for stability and also to help runners propel. Now, why would it matter on a hiking boot? I didn't notice the impact of this feature. It really only stood out to me maybe a couple of times as I was coming down on a hike, but I wouldn't say it was a super significant impact. The most annoying thing about this boot is that the laces do not stay tight. After just maybe half a mile, the knot that I make, right, it starts to become undone, and I have to stop every so often to be able to lace up my boots again. I personally find it annoying because if I allow this ankle part to become loose, then I start getting little pebbles and dirt and things in there, and it's just really annoying. Even if I double knot it, they just don't seem to want to stay tight. I would recommend that if you do buy these boots, maybe switch out the laces. The cushion on the high top is really comfy. You know, it never really rubs against my ankle. The tongue of the shoe is also pretty cushioned. So again, it really is comfortable. It is all around comfort. I wouldn't say I get ankle support, but it is comfortable. It's cushiony. I really like these boots, but they're not my favorite. I feel a lot of discomfort in my toes, and I know that can be for a variety of reasons. I have noticed that after a while, I am really wanting to take off these boots because my toes are kind of tired. As I'm hiking, my feet are not necessarily jamming into the boot. I think it just maybe because the toe box is narrow, at least for me. I tend to like a little bit more wiggle room in the toe box. So for me, I think that that's what makes it a little bit uncomfortable. I got these in a size 8. I didn't get the 8.5 because they were too big for me. So I went with the 8. And even so, as soon as I put the boot on, I immediately noticed my toes just kind of, right? Like I feel like they get squished together. And for me personally, they're just not the most comfortable. One thing that I noticed also, it has some pretty high arch support. I'm not typically used to the high arch support, so it feels a little bit funky at first. However, after maybe like a minute or less than a minute, I can't even tell that it's there. If you're someone that maybe needs some arch support or you want arch support, especially for a long hike, you will definitely feel supported in these boots. Overall, I really like the boots. There's a lot of things that I like about them. The price point is pretty high. And for me personally, I would say they're not worth the price point. For almost $230, I'm expecting a lot, almost a perfect boot, and they're just not it for me. I got them at a pretty good price. I paid $100 for them, brand new, so I can manage all of the things that I don't like so much. If you have any specific questions, please put them down in the comment down below and I'll answer them as best as I can. Or if you've had these boots and you have some feedback to give to others who are considering these boots, please also put them in the comments down below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that this video was helpful.